2026, where we are counting down the end of the Tibby's 4th of July 2026 art print campaign, which has been absolutely fantastic. I know a lot of you know that I'm diabetic, so I'm actually doing sugar free and treating myself to a little chocolate tonight because why not? It's a celebration. Um, I'm just going to pop on here, just kind of watch this tick down. We got a little over an hour. I'm going to open this up so that if anyone has any questions, if you're planning on launching your own Kickstarter, or if you have questions about processes relating to fulfillment or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and ask away. I'm also going to see over here, check on the villain support guys. I think they're live tonight. We'll see. No, it looks like it's the 24/7. Okay, well, that's okay. I was thinking they were live tonight. But that's okay. All right. It looks like the feed is going strong. I guess I should check the audio. We will do that on the phone. Because why not? Let's see here. Are we able to hear us? On the phone? Yep, we can hear us. Cool. Outstanding. So this campaign has been a lot of fun. It's obviously very short. It's just a week long. And we have seen just a really great turnout and a successful experiment in gathering information on what we can see when we have a sponsorship that we're running to promote it. In this case, we sponsored the channel Villain Support for a week. And we did that because it's one of my favorite YouTube channels. One of the ones I really enjoy watching. There are others that I would also sponsor, but I didn't hear back from 3 of them. So maybe if we had one of those, we may be looking more like, what would that convert to? Probably about 60 backers at this point. So and I say that just because that particular creator's audience size is a little more than double the total audience size of the Villain Support channel. I actually think I watch Villain Support more because they post longer form content and I enjoy that more. So that's okay. But this was really, really good experiment to run with our marketing because I had previously in prior campaigns never really put money into advertising. And we saw a very, very definite return, and particularly of particular importance, I should say. Most of the folks who came through, and I mean most as in the literal majority, came through as people who had never backed a Kickstarter campaign before. So not only did we get new customers, we got new customers to Kickstarter, first-time Kickstarter backers. And I think that's important for crowdfunding as a whole to make it more interesting for people so that they can actually see what other people are experiencing with it. And of course, we want to give them a really positive experience so that they are able to enjoy it. For those of you who are watching, I know there's a couple of you on each platform right now. What the campaign is offering is this stunning art print that we had done by Damian Torres. That's our regular one. That's actually from the press run for that. And this is a test press run we did for the foil holochrome. and we got an email from the print shop today on this, and those are they were working on that today. So I'm hoping that we will see them ship those either tomorrow or Friday, which means we will be fulfilling Tibby's 4th of July 2026 art print campaign um, next week for everyone who has those foils, and anyone who doesn't have those foils, we're gonna try and get those out. Hey, what's up, Spencer? I have a chat bubble over my camera. Yes, I set that up because I really didn't know what else I wanted to do, but I can move that around. Let me see if I can do. No, that's not gonna work. That's the same. You see what my difficulty is? I guess we could just get rid of me. How's that? Let's try this. Is that any better? Guys, for those of you who are watching, Spencer is the host of the Dingus Den YouTube channel. They were nice enough to interview me regarding the Reign of Ages issue 4 campaign. By the way, Spencer, did you get that update? Was the update okay for that I put out? Because the cover A's came in today, but for some reason the cover B's didn't. Tracking says they'll be here tomorrow, but I'm like, okay, what happened there? But I'm spoiling myself with a little sugar-free chocolate, so there we go. I'm gonna turn this phone down because I realized I just checked my audio on it to check the feed for the stream, and I didn't turn it down when I put it back down, so it was still cranked all the way up. But yeah, I'd call this a real serious success. And I think we had people, would help if I got back to the page. I think we had people pledge for every add-on that we offered. In fact, I know we did, because we had a couple of people who pledged for all of them. So that was pretty cool. That's all right. Now, Spencer, at the intro of this, which I don't think anyone saw yet, but the intro of this, I invite anyone who wanted to go ahead, and if they have any questions about these the campaigns, whether it's Reign of Ages 4, Tibby's 4th of July art print, any other campaigns, or if they have any questions about processes, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm going to be taking questions from anyone who's watching, and hopefully we can help other people if they have any questions about their crowdfunding campaign they're planning, or if they just want to know how we did something, where we sourced prints from, or how we're handling shipping and all that kind of stuff. A lot of good practical how-to information. I like doing that kind of content, but there's only so much that you can do, you go over about fulfillment and everything before people are like, yes, we know you put the tape on the envelope. We didn't have anyone claim the original art page. I was kind of surprised by that. But yeah, these holochromes came out beautifully. The regular non-holochrome version, absolutely gorgeous. I should have fixed this. I didn't notice this at all until just now. I really should have. All that's out of line. That's just, looks so terrible. 70 minutes left. So I'm wondering, do you think we can get to 1,200 by the end of the night? I always usually see a couple of backers at the very tail end. But I don't know. This is an art print campaign, and usually we don't see this many backers on art print campaign. In fact, this is the most successful art print campaign I've had. On Kickstarter. Yeah. Spencer, are you at work, or are you on your way home, or did you make it home yet? It's like, I guess it's like almost 11 o'clock. Or are you streaming with or getting ready to stream with Warren? Let's see what we see. All right. Cool, cool, cool. I guess you probably had most of the questions you had answered when we did the interview the other day, though, didn't you? But for anyone else who's watching, and I know we've got at least a couple, if you got any questions about this Kickstarter campaign, how we did certain things, where we sourced materials, anything like that, or if you've got questions about, just Kickstarter processes or what have you, feel free to put it in chat. Open it to all the viewers out here who are watching this. And if you see this after the stream is over, feel free to post your questions or whatever into the chat where you're seeing this, because it'll still be in the YouTube chat. It'll still be in the Twitter/X chat, and I'll be able to address those questions when I get the notifications to them. But yeah, this oh, wait, you know what, Spencer? So you said you didn't get the you didn't look at the update yet. So everybody, check them out. Let's do this. Whoops, wrong way. If I can, there we go. The cover A books have come in. I was going to take and examine them earlier, but I haven't gotten to that yet. But we're going to get those checked out and then make sure that everything's to spec, right? And that will make sure that we have just the best quality books going out. Because you always want to check your books before you ship them, by the way. That's one of those things where we had a press run, oh God, a few years ago, that some of the books had been miscut. I'm not really sure how that happens, but it did. No, actually, for most of my printing is done through Mixam. So Mixam does my comics, except for like my holofoil, chrome, and metal covers. Those are done by other print shops. And then they do my art prints, except for my foil and holochromes, which are done by other print shops. Now, previously, I had used Comics Wellspring for the holochrome art prints. They did an absolutely fantastic job. In fact, they did this one for the Tibbi and her Time Traveling Psychedelic Mushrooms issue 1 campaign. Look how gorgeous that is, right? But their website doesn't have holochrome art prints on it anymore. So I switched to Ready Comics, and they did this stunning piece right here. So, and I hadn't used them before for anything like that. I used them for metal covers on a test print I did for another project we've got in the making. But they did a gorgeous job on this. The foil holochrome on this is absolutely stellar. And it's not spot foil, it's full foil. So I like those a little better. Not for any reason, just so that I just like the aesthetic better. Well, so here's the thing. Comics Wellspring is still very competitive on a price point, because they're I use Mixam because I usually order larger press runs, usually. And what that happens with Mixam, even though if I have multiple covers, each cover counts as its own press run. Since I usually don't have more than one or two covers, I don't really have that big of a problem, right? Sometimes three covers, but whereas with Comics Wellspring, you just how many different covers you have, and then they'll do this many in this cover, this many in this cover, this many in this cover, and that's fine. Whereas Mix'em, you're like, okay, you want 100 of this, okay, that's one press run, and you want 100 with this cover, that's another press run, and so they do bill it as separate press runs, so you're not getting your economy of scale easier. But like when I print like 3,000 copies or 5,000 copies or what have you, then we do get a really nice economy of scale on our price per unit. And the same thing for art prints. Like we get the 130 and the 110, and then this art print on Tibbi is a different cardstock 110 pound, different paper stock rather 110 pound thing. It's not stiff, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. And then the now the foil holochromes are very stiff cardstock from Ready Comics, but they are both just absolutely stunning. Now the other thing too is that there's a lot of different printers out there that will be more than happy to work with you printing your comic. In fact, there's a gentleman down in Florida by the name of Rich Boy. Rich is his name, and last name is Boy, but he's pretty cool. I've spoken with him a few different times to get quotes, and he's real straightforward about telling you what his costs are, and if he can't meet the price you get somewhere else, he'll be the first person to tell you, and that's really admirable. Now, the other thing too is if you live in Florida, and there are a lot of indie comic guys who live in Florida, you can get his stuff printed there and just drive over and pick it up, right? Which can save you an absolute incredible amount on shipping. I live in Kentucky. Driving to Florida down to where he's at would be like a 11-hour drive one way. I'm just not doing that. But if you are in Florida, so not you and me, Spencer, but people like Travis Gibb and Jimmy Palmiotti, they could make use of this pretty well. Get it printed and then just run over and pick them up from him. But yeah, I've actually never had anything printed from him, but he's always been real straight with me when we communicated about different press runs. And if he didn't have the capability to print something, he would usually, give me point me in the right direction as to who to ask. And that's just that says a lot to his business ethics. He didn't try to corner me into printing through him. Man, if you go to Disney, you can't afford to print comics. If you print comics, you sure can't afford to go to Disney. It's got to be one or the other, man. It's got to be one or the other. Hey, I was talking with my youngest child the other day, and she and I came up with this interesting idea because I'm trying to figure out how we can get a cargo van for conventions so that we can haul all of our grid wall and everything much easier than squeezing it all in the Jeep, and so it's safer too. And I think we might do a GoFundMe next year, I think, and raise money to get the cargo van. I think there's some ways that we can do that, and I think it'll be fun. Don't tell you want both. Well, Spencer, man, I don't know, man. I can't afford Disney. I have to either get the comics or I have to go to Disney. And honestly, getting the comics printed is about one day at Disney. So I can either go to Disney for a day or print the comics. I know the backers definitely want the comics, so that's my priority. My backers are important to me. I guess that sounds kind of rote, I guess. But it's true. I mean, my backers are important to me. I like to make sure they're taken care of. They get the stuff I promised them. I think it's important. I went on and on about that the other day because I don't know what the deal was. I've been seeing so much stuff on X/Twitter with people complaining about people not fulfilling their crowdfunding campaigns. And I think that it's because it's about comics and indie comics. And then the people who are yelling the loudest are the people who are having that problem. Because I don't go looking for it, and normally the algorithms are going to show you what you're looking for, right? So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe I'm seeking out stuff from folks who are posting it a lot and just don't realize it. Yeah. Disney is not cheap, so comics and games are a lot more, and like especially like games. I went to the comic shop today, and I spent $40 on comics for me and my youngest. And the truth of the matter is, I think 30 of that was for her. Because there was a lot of stuff. I left it downstairs. Now I think about it, I turned around because I was thinking I brought it up, but no, it's downstairs still. But yeah, there's some really good comics out today, and picked up some a lot of stuff for her. Actually, there was Ben 10 comics that I for some reason hadn't seen. I picked up a 1 and 2 on that because I figured she'd like that. Well, I mean, it's just for the week, you know. I gotta watch my budget, man, because I've really been buying comics the last couple of weeks. I mean, like real bad. I gotta watch that. Comics are like crack. You start buying them, and all of a sudden you end up on the side of the road. Hey, you got any more X Force? You got any more X Force, homie? So yes, if you've got more than a week's worth of stuff at your comic shop, go and pick them up. That's good. Your local comic shop owner will love you for that because that really simplifies their cash flow if people pick up their stuff in a timely manner. But some folks can only pick them up once a month and just pick the whole thing up at once, and that's always nice too, so long as they pick them up, regularly. We had like all the way back in 2000, we had this one gentleman. He had his monthly comic pull list in 2000 was $95 a month. That's a lot of comics back then. I think everything was like 295, 350 was like the price points, right? And he's got $95 in pull list. Yeah, he had a lot, man. Yeah, the Ben 10 I thought looked cool. Which shop are you going to? Are you at A plus? Because I'm at A plus in Frankfurt. I like those guys. I think I annoy them a little bit though. Like today, I took the youngest over there, and I had the Sinopa shirt on because I knew I was going to do a live stream shortly after I got back, and then that got canceled. So here we are doing our own, right? By the way, guys, if you would, we're under an hour left. We're at 56 minutes. So if you have a moment, please do go ahead and share the link to the campaign in whatever social media you want to. There's probably a better way to say that. I will go ahead and post the link in the chat, so you guys should see that right there. Then we'll go ahead and close this because I forgot to, like a big dummy. But yeah, on a $300 goal, and we're just under 1,200 at 395%. The marketing experiments really well, and I'll tell you too that sponsoring the Villain Sport channel, I enjoyed that because I enjoy their content too. But it was really kind of cool for the whole week. Whenever a video got published, the whole message that, hey, this week's this video and all videos this week are sponsored by Sinopa Publishing. I thought, or really, the message was sponsored by Tibbi's 4th of July art print campaign on Kickstarter. But I mean, it's still pretty cool. And we got more than half of our backers came through that. So that was pretty nifty. So, yes, if you are going to run a Kickstarter campaign, and I would advise this really for the people who've been doing Kickstarter campaigns for a while, know how their fulfillment's going to go, because you definitely want to make sure that when you're getting into these other communities, man, I'm going to be on my soapbox for a minute. When you're getting into other communities, when you're expanding your reach into other locations and meeting new people, this is your chance to make a fantastic first impression. So don't, I'm going to curse a little bit. I'm sorry. Don't fuck it up. Make sure that you're delivering just to the best of your capability. Under promise, over deliver. Make people happier than they expected to be when they open their package. You know? Oh, yeah. Heroes Realm. Yeah. That's a good store. That's a good store. The shop that I founded in Richmond back in 1999, we were called Heroes Retreat, as in like a resort. And we were in a little dingy little strip mall. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to get new ones. Now, the thing too is you got to remember a lot of the people who back the campaigns, for me, back consistently, but some of these guys have backed like 2 or 3 different art campaigns in the past too for art prints, so they might just be running out of wall space. One thing I did do with this that I didn't think to do before the campaign launched, because I literally didn't know they could do it. But Ready Comics also does 11 by 17 metal prints. So I am having some of those test printed. And then I'm probably going to wait till after fulfillment's done. I think I'm going to order a couple of metal prints for this Cthulhu that we have done by Tony Ojeda. And then also get a couple of glow in the dark ones done, because they do those as well. And what I want to see is what those look like and how well they hang and all the other quality tests I want to do on them. Because I've reached out to Tony Ojeda, and I'm going to have him do a King in Yellow Mythos art piece. And we're going to go ahead and pair that up with the Cthulhu one. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. But we've also got more art coming from Damian Torres. Oh, Spencer, that's a great question, man. What is the next one? The next one is probably going to be Art by Humans, because it's almost completely done. I just have to finish formatting everything and do the editing and all that. I do think I want to add a couple of more art pieces to it, which is going to be tough, because that basically means I got to squeeze in the Cthulhu one from Tony and probably this one from Damien into the art book. And I don't think I have enough time to commission anything else for it, which is unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. And then go ahead and get the test prints done, because I haven't done a magazine before, and the Art by Humans project is an art magazine celebrating the human artist. And then the plan for that, we're going to go way beyond what you asked. The Kickstarter beyond that will most likely be Tibbi and her Time Traveling Psychedelic Mushrooms issue 2. We'll be working on getting probably another 6 pages, I think, of that issue done. Maybe more. I don't know. It's kind of a hard call, really, because it's a pricey book to get made. But getting that done, and then, or getting it halfway done, I guess I should say, would be ideal. And then getting that funded. But even getting it halfway done, we'd need to fund like $10,000. So there's a couple of create a couple of influencer channels I want to take a look at to see if I can get get sponsorship done. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be hard because some of the guys that I would like to have sponsored are gonna be way too expensive for me to ever afford. Like guys who took like Genshin Impact sponsorships and shit like that. And there's no way I got if I had Genshin Impact marketing money, I wouldn't need Kickstarter, right? Ain't that the truth, man? You know what? Just realized I probably should go in here and share this so that people can see. Um, let's see here. Counting down the final minutes of the campaign. Come check it out and pledge to get your own print of this beautiful piece by Damian Torres. Because the truth is the best way to advertise, right? It's just tell people like it is. I don't know why it's so complicated. People try to pull so many marketing schemes, and all you really got to do is just tell people what you're offering, when it's going to be there, how much it's going to be, make the best product you can, and then learn to make it better for the next one. I think that's probably one of the hardest things about crowdfunding is certainly learning how to do things better. Like I myself am not a graphic designer, so I really don't design very pretty crowdfunding campaigns. But I think that that's probably an area I need to improve. So maybe I should do some reading on that subject. Spencer, when are you going to take and put out like a adventure module or your own comic? Do you got any plans for anything? I know you've been writing on some stuff for your game group, but are you going to publish anything? The suspense is killing me. Oh, you know what? I should probably share this on X/Twitter as well. Oh, you know what? I think I did. Now that I think about it. Oh, that was 12 hours left. Okay. Let me check myself to make sure I'm not spamming. I guess we'll just put it here. It'd be fine. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the graphic design elements I need to work on. Probably one of the best in the at all is, of course, um, Brian Polito. His campaigns always look stunning. He's got a real good eye for that kind of thing, or whoever he has doing it has a good eye. I'm not sure specifically. Nick Capone has a really good eye for doing that. What we got here? So Spencer says, I would like to learn to make some comics, got some story ideas, need to work on fleshing out the ideas and then learning how to put those ideas into comic form. So I will tell you that the Antarctic Press team used to put out these how-to books about how to make comics. And then so too, there's a couple of books from Marvel that do that. And there was another one I was looking at. I don't remember who wrote it though. I'll have to check it out and see if I can find it. But there's a lot of resources out there on how to learn how to do comics. I cheated. I hardcore cheated. I had read the Antarctic Press books years ago, and I read a couple of the Marvel books years ago. I mean, years ago, like decades ago. And I read comics my whole life. And I said, you know what? I can tell the story like this, and this. And where the cheat comes in is I hired Alexia Veldhausen, graduate of the Kubert School, to edit on my projects for comics. And she does an absolutely splendid job. Absolutely splendid job. In fact, if I can, I'll get her to help editing Reign of Ages again because she edited the first three, wasn't available for four, and isn't really available for five. But I think she'll be available in time for the for issue six. So I may have her do that so that we can just make sure we dial in everything because we are having an artist change. We want to make sure that everything's absolutely perfect. Or as close to it. Perfect's a bad way to put that, I guess. We want to make sure it's the best product we can produce, and having a good editor is a key part of that. If that makes any sense. Let's see here. Boom. Yeah, I have not seen any of the ones from DC, but I mean, the guys at DC do know how to tell a good story. At least they're doing so lately. You know, some of the books they got coming out now are really, really good. I'll tell you also who's telling some wicked stories is the guys at Titan Comics. Those guys have some titles absolutely dialed in. I'm really impressed with some of the work I'm seeing from them. And then Jimmy Palmiotti, of course, is a fantastic comics writer, just absolutely incredible. His work on I picked up Space Ghost comic that he had written, and absolutely fantastic. So much not Space Ghost. What am I saying? Blue Falcon, a Blue Falcon and Dynamite comic that he wrote, absolutely fantastic. I don't remember who wrote the Space Ghost one, but the Blue Falcon and Dynamite one that was really really good. I really enjoyed that one. It made me laugh in places where it's supposed to make you laugh, and that's an important distinction. Very very much so. You know, I see a lot of people when they hey look, it just ticked down to 42 minutes. I see a lot of people when they're doing live streams, they'll go in and they'll pull up like Twitter or whatnot and review stuff. And that's fine. That's great and all. But really kind of gets us off topic a little bit, doesn't it? I just don't want to bore anybody, certainly. Oh, man. I'm trying to think if there's anything that you might have missed from the update, Spencer. But nothing comes to mind other than what we've already gone over on that one. The update was pretty quick. Um, I used to have this problem where I would, and I say problem because I didn't realize that I was spamming people, but I was posting updates like every day, and I mean like every day on like 30-day campaigns, and I don't care who you are, 30 days of updates is just too much. That's so annoying, and I didn't realize how bad it was until someone did it to me. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. We'll keep these to when something happens, as opposed to and today on the campaign, because no one really cares about that so much as they care about what's coming. And I can spend, far more productive time, um, going out and doing promotions and just sending out materials to get people to the site. That's I think the best way to be is just get people's attention, let them see it, and if they like it and it looks good and it's quality and it's affordable, then people will buy it. It's the whole value proposition thing, man. If you produce good stuff at a good price and the value proposition is there, people are going to pick it up. Yep, I think that's right. So Spencer, let me ask you a question, man, since you're in the chat, and thank you for that. Um with the Art by Humans magazine, I have to wonder what art channels I should look at for sponsorships. Because I definitely want to push home the fact that this is all human created art, no generative AI used in any way. And, the fact that we're going to probably do this, the plan right now is to do this every year. And if it takes off well enough, we might do it 2 times a year, or maybe as many times as 4 times a year. But I mean, to do it 4 times a year, we'd have to be selling like ridiculous numbers, man. Like, I mean, like what, like 3,000 copies on Kickstarter in order to do it quarterly? Maybe more than that. Maybe like 5,000 on Kickstarter. So, but the cool thing is that after Art by Humans is shipped out to Kickstarter backers, of course, assuming we fund, we'll take and get a new cover done to be used for the mass market release, and we're going to shop that around to see if we can get released in the main distribution. And for that, we'll actually have ads in the magazine, whereas we won't have them other than like, hey, this is where you can find the other Sonoppa products and all that kind of thing. We won't have them on the Kickstarter copies. Those will be, devoid of the ads. At least that's the plan currently. Although we may actually, now I think about it, maybe we'll have the back cover have like a Gemini mailer ad or something like that. The creator program for them is really good about giving you a store credit basically for their store to get your Gemini mailers, and that's a big cost savings. So there's another tip for you guys if you're looking at shipping, obviously with comics and magazines, and probably with any novella or anything like that. You're going to want to use something like a Gemini mailer. And getting those in at an affordable price point not only saves you money, but it lets you save money for your backers. And Spencer's like, not quite sure on the channel sponsorships, but I'm sure there's places that would eat it up. Yeah. I mean, everyone wants to get paid for something that's going to be real, right? That was one thing that the villain support guys mentioned, because I told them, I'm not going to give you guys a script. I mean, just say what you think, because it's best to be your authentic selves, And they were really good about that. It really had a fantastic experience with the villain support guys. It really, really did. Actually, you know what I just realized? I can probably send them a link so that they know we're live. Let me go back. Let me make sure I'm not sharing anything I'm not supposed to. Okay. So I don't want to give away our channel that we're communicating through. That's probably not what we want to do. Yep, there we go. Cool. Send that to Levi. There we are. And if Levi shows up, everyone be nice and say hi. Celebrate the villain support guys. They did a fantastic job with the ad read. Absolutely fantastic folks to work with. I had a really great experience. And so the on the one side, that might be a tough act to follow for anyone else who I hire for ad reads in the future, because they're gonna have a lot to live up to. That the villain support guys did a fantastic job on those ad reads. They really did. Chris did it, and then they spliced it in nicely on all the videos. It was real clean and worked really, really well. I was really happy with it. Where are we at? 35 minutes to go. Cool deal. So for those of you who just joined us, we are counting down Tibby's 4th of July 2026 art print campaign on Kickstarter. We have a link in the chats, and that's in both places that we're releasing it, YouTube and X. So actually, I should probably put it in there again, shouldn't I, so that people don't have to hunt and peck. I'm going to credit Spencer with inspiring me on that, just because Spencer's a hell of a guy. There we go. Cool deal. But yeah, for those of you who just joined, because we had a couple other people pop in, at least that's what's saying on the studio. If you've got any questions about this Kickstarter or any others, or if you have questions about processes for your own crowdfunding event, please go ahead and just, hey, it's Larry. What's up, man? Go ahead and post them into the chat. More than happy to address that. Yeah, Larry, it's been a fantastic campaign. Larry with Niobe Comics meets Spencer with the Dingus Den, and we've got a couple other folks in the chat across different platforms. So it looks like we've got a few on X and a couple on YouTube. So yay, that's pretty cool. I'm liking that. But yeah, we're just counting this down and chilling for a little bit. I'm wondering if we're going to see, because if we get one more backer, we should probably hit 1,200. So yeah, just doing the final countdown. Want to see the balloons go up, that kind of thing. I think it'll be fun. I should have probably prepped like some other campaigns to look at too, now I think about it. But I do have Sam Johnson launched his campaign today. I haven't gone to it yet. I should have prepped that ahead of time. Live and learn, right? That's what I get for not being very experienced with doing the live stream stuff. Let's see what we can. We'll drop that for now, so everyone can be tormented by my mug. 30 created so far, 200 backed, and that's just on this campaign. The Sinopa publishing page has like I think 4 other campaigns on it. I think it's that, or 3 other campaigns, whatever it is. And then you've got the Indiegogo campaign, which has I think 3 or 4 campaigns on it. Crowdfunder that has 2 on it, and Fund My Comic I think has 3. So yeah, like 40 campaigns over the years. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I think that count on the Kickstarter also counts the ones that have not been successful. Which has been a few. We've had a few campaigns that didn't succeed, but every single one that succeeds, we fund, of course, and we ship and get it to everybody. But I got everything ready to rock and roll. I've got my my little stamp here that says, which one is this one? This one says collectibles, please do not bend. And then we've got another one that says, what's the other one say? Do not fold or bend or something like that. So, or one says comics, do not fold or bend, and that's for like the Gemini mailers. And then there's another one like this for just general purposes, says do not fold or bend. Yeah, every little thing we can do to try and keep our stuff intact and in shape for getting out to the audiences. Man, I tell you, it's been a wild campaign, Larry. 7 days long, and it's the most funded art print campaign I've done. And I got email from the print shop. I was hoping that they were going to be shipping the foil holochromes today, but they were doing the test and the cut and everything. Those should be, I think they're going to be printed and shipped tomorrow or the next day. So I'll have those next week. And so we'll literally be shipping. We should be done shipping all of these rewards by next week, and we're going to take and ship some of them probably on the 3rd, so that we can get those out and to everybody. Yeah, thanks, Larry. I appreciate that, man. By the way, Larry, if you get a moment, can you share this out for these final 30 minutes? Because any little bit's going to help. If we can find like 1 or 2 more backers, that would be awesome. Absolutely awesome. I think we have 38 who didn't who saved the campaign that didn't pledge to it. So that's a little higher average than what I'd like to see. Our conversion rate was a little low on this one, but we did have a lot of new first-time Kickstarter backers. Like most of the backers we got through the villain support sponsored read were first-time Kickstarter backers. So that was pretty cool. Like I think I can't look it up because I'm sharing the screen on it, but it's probably like 9, 10, 11, something like that. Because of the 28 backers we have, I think it's 15 of them came out of that link, and then it's 9, 10, 11, something like that were first time Kickstarter backers. So of course we want to make sure that everyone gets like the highest quality fulfillment done as possible. And yeah, it's gonna be something, man. It's gonna be something. And I've got test prints coming in from Ready Comics for their metal prints. Yeah, cool, Larry. We'll see you in a bit. So that's gonna be pretty neat. Let's see if there's anything interesting on here while we talk about this. A lot of yeah, probably not going to put the I don't want to put that out there. Well, can't share the Twitter feed. The Twitter feed's all jacked up. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on Twitter right now, apparently. I guess that's what I get for looking at Twitter at 11:30 at night instead of like my usual time. Holy crap. That's some weird shit going on over there, guys. Apparently, though, they're saying that the U.S. won the soccer game. So that's kind of neat. All right. If I can find my tab, I lost my tab, man. What am I going to do? Yeah, usually my Twitter feed's pretty mellow, right? I mean, you've seen how folks have been reacting to my posts and such lately. Everyone's been really nice. People have been, retweeting the campaign links and have been really interacting, and it's been pretty cool. Thanks, Larry. I appreciate you, bro. And like Larry's posting it on Facebook and on X. 26 minutes remaining. What do you think, Spencer? You think we'll hit 29 backers? Do you think we'll find our one more backer before the end of the night? I don't know, man. This is kind of like what's a good example of this? I guess this would be kind of like when you're watching football, and you're waiting to see if that one more goal is going to get made. Yeah, I mostly get interactions when I'm talking about other artists. Here's a fun bit of lore for you. A few years ago, like 2022, 2023, something like that. I was minding my own business, and this dude who I followed and who followed me just did a big heel turn one day and decided to start talking smack about me on the internet. What's up, Blight Blazer? How you doing, man? But this dude just started just spitting out just nonsense stuff about me, and people were like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I think I had like 1,200 followers at the time. And for context, I've got 1740 now, which means it's time to go clear some bots out and get back down to 1730. Um, but because I just basically where I stay is like 1730. But and this dude was talking about political stuff that I never comment about, and all this other crap, and said some other things that were really actionably libel, to be perfectly honest. But or well, I guess it would be, yeah, it'd be libel. But I went and I responded. I grabbed a screenshot of it because, of course, after he posted this crap, he blocked me like instantly. But people were commenting to it, sending me images and stuff, and I was like, okay, bots. I don't want no Skynet. Yeah, man, I get bots on my Twitter account sometime, and it's not the ones like you expect. It's not like the OnlyFan bots or stuff that target 50-plus-year-old men. I get bots from like people who are like, "Hey, you know, we think that your campaign is cool," and it'd be like 6 months since I ran a campaign. I'm like, "All right, cool, man." Cool, man. What's the square root of 27? And they're like, "Oh, wait, yeah, that's blah blah blah." So bots are gonna bot, right? But anyway, this dude was posting just some just heinous crap about me, and I posted this thing about this response. I pasted in there, and a buddy of mine forwarded it to him. I said, "Well, here's the deal, man. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. I don't know what the hell you're talking about in this." I said, "I understand that you're getting a lot of action on this because his tweet had like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 thousand views or whatever, which is weird because it was literally just about me, and not that many people follow me." And I posted a reply and I said, I'm just here making comics and role playing games and paying my artists, and your 2 minutes of my time are up. Have a wonderful life. And muted him and went on, didn't think anything about it. And I ended up getting like a couple of thousand views and likes and stuff on that tweet. It was really bizarre. And the big part about this is where it comes from. Because like I said, I used to have like 1,200 followers, and we picked up like over 400 followers in one day because of this nonsense this guy started spouting. It's really weird place, Twitter and X. Blight Blazer says, only real people can hold some tibbies. Yep, that's true. Eventually there'll be Billy Power Max. Holy crap, man! Good to see you, bro. We got a lot of people coming here. Spencer saying seems like the majority of followers I get are bots. Yeah, I have to call out the bots on Twitter quite a lot. Yeah, guys, we are counting down the end of the Tibbi's 4th of July 11x17 art prints. I don't know if Billy's seen these yet. Billy, I'm going to put these up because I don't know if you've seen them yet. So this is Tibbi's 4th of July 2026 art print, of course, by Damian Torres. And then this is the foil holochrome. So very, very cool. Guys, if you have a moment, go ahead and share the link out, because we're trying to see if we can get one more or two more backers tonight before the campaign ends. And I'll go ahead and grab this link, if I can stop spazzing, and we will put it in the chat. So yeah, we've got Spencer and Blight Blazer and Billy Power Max and Larry, aka Niobe. Hail, guys! So great to see y'all here. Really is. Thank you so much. I'm really glad you guys came out. And as promised earlier, if you have any comments about this campaign or previous campaigns, or questions about processes for your own campaigns, I am more than happy to let you know. One of the things that we have been talking about, Spencer, it's like the third time you've heard this, bro. Sorry about this. We've been talking a little bit about the results that we saw from a sponsored ad read. I sponsored the Villain Support channel this week, and at the end of every video that they put out this week, they had the ad read for Tibby's 4th of July 11 by 17 art print, and it did really well. We got a lot of traffic off that. We had a lot of people from that saved the campaign, but more than half of the people who pledged so far, like 15 of them, um, no, he's here. He's here. He's bouncing in and out, but he's here. I think he went to go smoke real quick. But like 15 of the 28 backers are from that link from that ad read, and of those, most of them are first time Kickstarter backers. So you guys, I mean, all of you guys in here have seen what I do for fulfillment before, so I can say this. You guys know how I am. They're going to get their books in the best shape I can get them to them. You know, they're going to be nice. It's going to be tight. So I'm kind of thrilled about the concept of um, being able to get people's first Kickstarter rewards ever out there. I always love doing that. And then plus, the other thing too, and I was talking with this in my communication with the Villain Support guys. One of the things about this too is that those 15 new backers represent 15 people who are potential customers for the future too. So I think that's incredibly important. We were talking a little bit earlier about who you guys think I should look at if I want to do sponsorships for Art by Humans, the art magazine, or for Tibbi and her time traveling psychedelic mushrooms. I don't know, man. I'm kind of stumped on the art print book about the art print magazine, the art magazine. I'll get the words out eventually. God, words are hard. But for like Tibbi, that has some interesting questions. I mean, obviously the comic book environment's kind of a big one too. But what if we step outside of that mold a little bit? What if we do someone like if budget wasn't a factor, what if we did someone like Asmongold or God, I'd hate to think how much that would cost. That's literally like if I were gonna, I don't think he does sponsorships anymore though, but if he were gonna do that, I'd hate to think how much that would cost. I mean, if I could pay for that sponsorship, I probably wouldn't need to use Kickstarter, right? Oh wow, 17 minutes. These countdown bashes that we do, guys. This is always lots of fun. I do not know how many people I can fit in the free version of Restream, but I am thinking very hard about maybe subscribing so that I can be on more than just two platforms at a time. So if I subscribe, I could be on X and YouTube like I am now, and then also on Facebook, Rumble, and Kick. And I think that would be a good one. I think that'd be a good way to go. But the problem is then I got to figure out what type of content I'm going to do to get my money's worth for doing that. Because just streaming once a week, that's not going to really work. Paying $600 a year. That just sounds like a bad plan. And I'm not monetized anywhere and not really trying so much to monetize, but being able to grow audiences and get people looking at the stuff I make would be really cool, Very, very cool indeed. Refresh this and see if we've got any hopes. No, not yet. Okay. Cool deal. Black Blazer, thanks for the retweet, man. Appreciate you. Everybody, actually. Wow, guys, thanks. You guys are really putting stuff everywhere. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's fantastic. We're gonna have more people know. Hey, this weirdo's streaming as he counts down his campaign. It's gonna be one of the wildest little things we did. How many of you guys have ever looked at the what's the name of the channel? The channel is me see if I can find it. I can't believe I can't remember the name of this channel right offhand. It's definitely right on the tip of my tongue, and I'm just not getting it at the moment. It is Clownfish. Yeah, Clownfish TV. So, are any of you familiar with that particular YouTube channel? Well, they put out comics every once in a while, like graphic novels, but they also do like these pen campaigns. And I saw this one and I was like, I want to get this. Plus, we've got a pen design we're going to put out with Willow on it. And it came out really neat. They did a really good job on this. I think that something this big or maybe a little bigger is what we want to do for Willow's cosplay pins. And then that will probably be sometime in the fall, maybe. Yeah, Clownfish TV. They do a lot of commentary stuff on news right now, and usually in the pop culture sphere. So they'll talk about stuff like um, layoffs at game companies and different things going on with, like, for example, like people not paying their comic book artists, or um, when game companies are having problems getting their games sold, or when there's other tensions like with Disney, or Hollywood problems and movie stuff and all this kind of stuff, right? And they really do put out so they put out an amazing amount of content. That's the thing that really blows my mind, is how much stuff they managed to get out. um I couldn't imagine how much editing goes into that, much less generating the raw content that has to lead up to it, right? It's just a tremendous amount. Like Spencer with Dingus Den. By the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Dingus Den yet on YouTube, Dingus Den at DINGUSDEN, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to that. He's done some really cool interviews recently and some really nice commentary on things. Definitely check that out. And our buddy Warren shows up there pretty regularly. So definitely get that done. But now Spencer's like, don't get him started on what's going on in gaming. Yeah, I know. I saw the whole thing about, no more physical media. I'll tell you, man, for real, you could take and use old chipsets and just do like something that's equivalent to like a retro game console. Instead of using discs, like use a USB, or maybe I guess you could use discs. I don't know. But and then people would have their game, and just make sure you test the shit out of it beforehand so it's not buggy, right? Maybe do a release on like a limited basis with some influencers or something, see if they can find any bugs, and literally call it the bug hunt program, so that people are out there making content and they're making money, and you've got your stuff together, and you're like, all right, cool, we're gonna go ahead and do this and get the results in, and then they put it out, and by that time you fix the shit and put it out so that there's no bugs, it's all in one piece, people buy their unit and they get the little game thing, and then you put up another game. I mean, people make really cool games all the time, right? But this whole thing with when games disappear off the platform that you paid for the game on, and all of a sudden you don't have access to it, I think that's kind of lame, personally. Just my thoughts. And I don't know if I'm ever going to buy another gaming console. I really don't. I might pick up some old retro consoles, because there's some damn good games out there that look fine, play well, and why not, right? Why not? Like the old as weird as it sounds, I'm going to date myself here pretty heavily. Like the old Sega Genesis games, there were some pretty badass games for the Sega Genesis that still play perfectly fine. Um, and even for like the original Xbox, hell, I had an original Xbox until a few years ago, and my buddy Ronnie, still, I gave it to him, and he still plays on that thing, and it works just fine. Um, my daughter has my buddy Chris's 360 in her room, and she absolutely doesn't play it at all. at all. But that's the most recent console I've had in any home of mine is the 360, which is damn old at this point. Yeah, I get you, Blight. Blight. I just stumbled over Blight Blazer's name again. I get you, and the thing is too is that I just get stuff on Steam and go ahead and play that. Like I played a game earlier today. I was playing a game earlier at lunch today, and it was Galactic Civilizations 4, which is a really complex kind of piece of game, but it's still running in the background actually now I look at it. Um I think I paid $12 for that thing a few years ago, something like or $10 for it, something like that. Not a lot. And then I play Warframe and Soulframe, and really that's probably about it. Warframe plays really, really well. I'll usually spend like maybe $10 or sometimes $20 a year to buy the currency you can buy for it. And it's not so much that I really need it; it's just kind of to support the keeping the game around. Because I mean, they have to monetize it some way, and $10 a year for a game I play the absolute shit out of is not a bad thing. Yeah, one thing too, I see this thing about the price points on the new Steam machine, right? And I can understand why the price of RAM is so freaking high. Um, and really, the prices of all internals are so freaking high right now, and I don't think we're gonna see them come down anytime soon. Like maybe after 2030, things will get a little more affordable, maybe, but there's no guarantee of that. Man, we got Billy Power Max, Dingus, aka Spencer. We got Blight Blazer. We got Larry. I'm not sure who else we got in here. We got a few people in here, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate the hell out of this. Like I said, if you got any questions about stuff, fire it away from me. I'm pretty much an open book. But man, I'll tell you, it's good to be back making stuff. I made a comment about this on stream a few times the last couple of weeks. The whole thing since we were leading up to the launch of the Reign of Ages 4 campaign, just people online, except for Blue Sky. I want to caveat that, except for Blue Sky, people have been really, really kind to me across like every social media platform. People have been nice to me on Instagram. People have been nice to me on Facebook, which is weird in a lot of ways. People have been really nice to me, really, really nice to me on Twitter/X, right? And just kind in general, like really great exchanges. Now, Blue Sky, however, Blue Sky, I get called some nasty ass shit. So, and I mean, it doesn't scare me or bother me or anything. It just surprises me. I said this the other day. I'm literally going to go in and save some of these conversations because I had some insults in there that were really, really something, like paragraphs of 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 why I'm the worst human being in the world. It was wild as shit, man. You'd think these people knew me personally. It's crazy. I honestly don't think I'm so bad. I try to tell people what I know is the truth and what I actually believe, and if I fuck up, I admit it. And that's cool. And poor Spencer's met me in person a few times. I think I talk too much. You guys think I'm long-winded on streams. Good God, meet me in person. I'll talk your ear off. Especially if you've got interesting things to say about things. Like we were talking when Spencer and I were talking at the Lexington Toy and Comic Festival. We were talking about a bunch of stuff. I don't know how long I kept poor Spencer tied up. But I had a blast. It was good talking to you, man. I always enjoy, getting to talk to him. My buddy DJ, he backed this campaign too, and so did my brother Shane and my buddy Pete, a bunch of other people. It's good talking with them. I got to talk to Pete tonight before we went on stream. It was pretty neat. I like that. But for you guys who may not have seen this yet, Pete designed the sticker we have for the Art by Humans magazine. And I think that's just badass. I told him I just want a graffiti style bit of art that we're going to use for the sticker. It needs to say Art by Humans. If you can figure out how to put the Sinopa logo on it, that works. Do your magic. And Pete did this, and I gave him like, I think 10 days to get it done, and he did it in 2. And he would have probably done it in 1, but he really, really, really went to work on the colors on that. The colors on that are fantastic. 4 minutes, folks. We're almost down to counting the seconds. Let's refresh this, see if we've got to backer 29 yet. Backer 29 should put us to like 1,200. So let's see if we can get this one backer left tonight. Like I said, we should have the foil holochromes in next week. And I would normally say on the weekend, but we've got the 4th of July, so I don't think they're going to ship them out until probably the Monday. And it'll be like probably Wednesday or Thursday. Last call for the Tibbies. That's right, Blight Bracer. I tell you, man. Tibby are time-traveling psychedelic mushrooms, man. And I'm looking forward to getting that second issue out. I think that's going to be badass. But we also have... Let me get down here while we're looking around. There's the art print. Absolute fucking gorgeous. And then there's what the foil looks like. That it really catches the light really well. The original. And then we did the add-ons. So you got the Spicy 11 by 17. That's actually been really, really popular. The Fantasy Horizon one. And then the Haunted Warrior piece. All of these by Damian Torres. And then these last 2 were colored by Nick Capone. And then people could pick up an extra holochrome. We've had a couple of people do that too. Or they could pick up an extra main print too. So it's been pretty good. We got a really good use out of the add-ons on this one. 2 minutes. We're about to hit the seconds, guys. Let's see what we got. Coming soon. Sam Quinton's quips coming to Spaces. I don't think have I ever done a Spaces thing on Twitter? I don't know if I have. Now I've live streamed directly on Twitter in their native system because you can actually do that from your phone and everything. But I don't think I've actually launched the Spaces myself. Well, we do have it set for 11:59. I thought we had it set for 11:55. All right, let's do that counts. Watch this tick away. These final seconds. I still remember my first Kickstarter campaign and didn't know what I was doing, and I learned really fast. But I'll tell you, Kickstarter has made it possible for Sinopa Publishing to thrive, and it's just so much fun. I don't know, Blight Blazer. I might do a Spaces. I need to look at some of them, see what the excitement's about, and see. I know they've got conversations and stuff in there, and that might be fun. I think that'll be cool. Oh, it's the last 60 seconds. I don't think we're going to find backer 29, but we tried. And that's what's important. Always work till the end, gentlemen. Always work till the end. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. 30 seconds. Are we going to do when we get to 10, we're going to do the rocket countdown, okay? Do the 10, 9, 8 and all that. It'll be fun. For me anyway, I'll have a blast. All right, let's get that. All right, guys, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. There we are, everybody. Ha 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 ha. And that, gentlemen, is Tibbi's 4th of July 2026 11 by 17 art print campaign. And I must have accidentally left something open for late pledges. I'll cancel that later. Man, that's been a good one. Ah, there we go. I guess it just needed to refresh. Cool. Because, yeah, I didn't do late pledges on this one. I didn't think. I thought I turned them all off. Happy New Year indeed. That's pretty cool. I don't know about you guys, but I feel pretty good about that. Hey, guys, seriously, thanks for hanging out with me while we counted this down. I had a blast, and I hope you did too. I'll tell you, it's going to be, we got a lot of stuff lined up this year. I mean, being away for a year really kind of, I guess, bottled up a lot of energy for me. And getting fulfillment done is going to freaking rock. And the weird part is, once again, we're doing fulfillment before the Kickstarter money comes in. Lord. But that's okay. That's okay. We're going to have some fast-ass fulfillment times this year. We won't be able to do that on, like, the Tibbi campaign, though, because we'll have to fund the rest of the art on it. And then get all the test prints done and all the lettering and all that. So when we do the Tibbi or Time Traveling Psychedelic Mushrooms issue 2 campaign, it'll probably be 3 or 4 months out from that when we do fulfillment. But the key thing is we'll do fulfillment. Fulfillment's important. But yeah, big shout out to all you guys. You guys are bosses of the top tier. I appreciate y'all tremendously. Now, before I wrap this up, does anyone have any comments, any questions, any criticisms, or concerns? The standard thing I say before we close it down. Do your surveys, people. Ain't that the God's honest truth? I'm going to send out the backer survey on this tomorrow when I'm at lunch, I think. And then that way we can get stuff rolling. Because we do have people, we not everyone pledged for the holochromes. So those people, we can literally ship their stuff at the same time we're shipping like Reign of Ages stuff, like on Friday. And then folks who have the holochromes, those should be in next week, and we'll just pack them up and just ship them out. It'll be good. I probably do need to plan a campaign where we do hold the late pledges open, right? The problem with that is when you have a lot of campaigns to do, it's a little tricky to make that work. But I mentioned this real early in the stream, and I know a lot of you didn't see it. Ready Comics is the guys who did the foil holochrome for this campaign, right? They actually also do metal prints, and I did not know that until this campaign was already launched, right? And they also do glow in the dark metals. So I'm going to get some test prints done. Something bit me. Some test prints done for the Cthulhu art print that I got from Tony Ojeda. And I will probably go ahead and get those done. I'll probably order those after I get the test metals in from them on Tibbi. Guys, I really want to see what they look like before I order any more to test other art, right? But what I'm thinking is that we may do some medals and see what people think about the medals. But I don't know if we'll crowdfund that or if we'll just make them available on like Amazon, right? Because if we've got, Cthulhu and the King in Yellow and maybe some deep ones and some Star Spawn and some Bayaki, the fungi from Yugoth, different mythos monsters. Hell, we go through half of the mytho pretty freaking quick on that. We could even do like a little comic-sized art book just from Tony Ojeda, which I think would be pretty badass. No lie. I love his work, man. He does such a fantastic job. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I hope that you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. And please remember, in a world where you can choose to be anything, please choose to be kind. And thank you all for tremendous amounts of support. Really, none of this stuff could happen without you. And I am very aware of that. So thank you. Have a good one, Blight Blazer. You rock, man.